All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are officially live. Do not adjust your sets. Yes, for the first time ever on this channel, I'm doing an AEW Dynamite review. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. Tonight is the Wednesday night, December 29th edition of AEW Dynamite. And obviously, before I get into Dynamite Man, there are some things I want to talk about. Number one, speaking of AEW, my top 10 AEW matches of this year will be coming out tomorrow. It will be set to premiere around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, somewhere around those hours. So be on the lookout for that. Also, one thing I wanted to talk about, I did want to talk about, man, obviously the big thing of the news of this wrestling scene today was the release of Tony Storm. Now, we thought originally that Tony Storm was just released from the WWE, but no, it's now been, confirmed that she reportedly asked for her release, and because of that, she is no longer with the WWE, and it sucks, man. It really does, Um, Tony Storm was one who I consider to be a really, really like prominent member of the women's brand on WWE. So the fact that she's no longer with them, it really sucks. So well wishes to her, and I wish her nothing but success coming in wherever she goes, to be honest. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel, man. We are on the road to 500 subs. Obviously, the main goal is to get to 500 subs before the end of the year. So make sure you hit that sub, man. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell everybody about this great channel. Anyways, we're 2 minutes into this live stream. Let's not waste any time, man. Let's get to this AEW Dynamite review. We kick things off, man, with the return of good old JR. In my opinion, the greatest commentator in the history of pro wrestling, man. Jim Ross, he's been out of AEW for, few weeks now. He's obviously been dealing with cancer, but his cancer is in remission. He's cancer free, so it's good to see JR back in Daly's place. They were back in Daly's place tonight, and we kicked things off with a six-man tag team match playa. That's right. It was the team of FTR and their team taking on Jurassic Express and the Lucha Bros. So, yeah, this is what opened up um, the match tonight. And of course, we saw near the end there's a little dissension in the ranks going on with Christian Cage and the Lucha Bros and stuff like that. And of course, we saw in the end that FTR and them got the win. So yeah, this was a pretty good match. Pretty good match. Um, it. I mean, I didn't have no problems with it. You know, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Also, by the way, let me remind you guys, this was New Year's Smash. So yeah, this was New Year's Smash. This was their TV special. So yeah, so Team Hardy and the Lucha Bros. I mean, my God, I'm botching tonight. Excuse me. The Lucha Bros and them and Christian Cage, they're arguing back and forth. And of course, we find out later on tonight that next week it's going to be, well, yeah, next week it's going to be Christian Cage, well, Luchasaurus taking on, um, the Lucha Bros. So that should be good. Even though Battle of the Brands is like January the 8th or something. Glad you're doing a live review. Was gonna ask when your live stream again. 10 o'clock, as soon as the show goes off the air. So yeah, they are making the Undisputed Era have problems now. Well, hey, I mean, they had problems in NXT, and actually, what I really like is there a little sense of continuity going on with that, with Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So yeah, but yeah, man. Like I said, the opening matchup. Private Party, Matt Hardy, and FTR get the win there. So yeah. Now after that, man, we saw Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz taking on 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. It's a pretty good six-man tag team match player. We do see after the match, man, 2.0 and Daniel Garcia actually get the win here. So wasn't expecting that. Excuse me. I thought that Eddie Kingston and FTR. I mean, Jesus Christ. Excuse me. Eddie Kingston and Santana Ortiz were gonna get the win there. So yeah. After the match, 2.0, Daniel Garcia, they're beating up Chris. They're beating up, Santana and Ortiz. And that is when we see Chris Jericho coming out. Chris Jericho coming out. The fans are singing to the theme. Of course, Eddie Kingston's all upset. Like he's like getting in the face of Chris Jericho. Why are you helping my boy? What's wrong with you? And speaking of Chris Jericho, and I'm surprised no one said this, but Chris Jericho even came out late. Like the dude came out late. Like he didn't even arrive on cue of the music. He came out like a few seconds after the music came out. Like so maybe that's adding more to the stuff. I don't know, but it seemed like with things are going here, it's sensing that we are building towards a Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston match, a little feud, which I honestly have no problems with because Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston, that's a feud, that's a match that we've never seen before. So that should be interesting there. But yeah, Eddie Kingston was just not happy with Chris Jericho coming out whatsoever. Now, oh, we got a comment from See Nation Dog. Shout out to you, my man. Jurassic Express won the AEW Tag Team Champions. The Lucha Bros had a good run. They'll be fine. Sammy Guevara had a shorter reign than the Lucha Bros, and he'll be fine. Bold prediction, C Nation Dog. The Lucha Bros title reign has kind of been, for the most part, a little bit underwhelming. As talented as the Lucha Bros are, they haven't, outside of FTR, like a few of their wasn't like they had one of their tag team title matches on Rampage. So like I don't know. It was against the Butcher and the Blade. I don't know. But I think Jurassic Express winning the gold would probably be a pretty interesting run right now in the tag team division, I would say. But we see MJF backstage. He talks about you know, how he was thrown out of the ring by an untrained Sting and how he's going to work for a more professional company. But we'll talk about that in the bidding war of 2024, which is a reference to MJF's contract coming out and, the other company coming after MJF. We all know that company is. I don't really need say any more mentions, but he goes to Wardlow. Now we all know, man, Wardlow has been on a winning streak lately. He's been winning against jobbers. Let's be real here, but he wins or wins, and of course, wins and losses matter in AEW. So you know, MJF's like Wardlow. You get to that number one spot, my brother. You can give your number one AEW World Title shot to me. So of course, Wardlow's like, dude, like, nah, like, are you serious right now, dude? And MJF's like, hey, it's a part of the contract. And the dude, I don't know, I forgot what his name was, but the dude, came out with the contract. So yeah. And it was also said that if Warlow gets enough wins, he can be in the face of the Revolution ladder match. So, yeah, man, Warlow's just like, what, dude? Like, you serious? So, obviously, Warlow's just like, come on, man. C Nation Dog, MJF might be AEW World and TNT champion at the same time. He said he wanted to do that. Hmm. I think winning the AEW World Title and TNT Championship at the same time this late into AEW's history. I mean, they've been around for about 2 years now, but I would much rather just have MJF win the AEW World Championship rather than hold it at the same time. I mean, it'll be a dope moment, first ever undisputed champ. But right now, I think the TNT title is really supposed to help you prompt you up to that big next level, which is, of course, the AEW World Championship. But I'm not saying that we're not going to get that. sooner or later, an AEW World and TNT champ at the same time. Like it might happen one day. I mean, look what WWE did. WWE World Heavyweight and WWE champ at the same time. Coincidentally, Chris Jericho. So yeah. Anyways, Wardlow beats Jobber, Colin Delaney, whatever his last name is. Wardlow wins. Power bombs him over a bunch of times, and he wins. So yeah. Lucha Bros have defended their AEW Tag Team Championships against FTR at Full Gear, so they have defended on pay per view. Yes, they have defended it on pay per view. Um, yeah, but still, like as great as Team FTR is, you know, Lucha Bros gotta. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but I get what you're coming at, C Nation dog. I get what you're coming at. Now we get to Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly backstage. Kyle O'Reilly's like, "Look, man, I understand what we had. Like, I get it. You know, we had a little scuffle down in the other place, down in Orlando. You know, I beat you, you beat me. I get that, but I know Fish has my back. The question is tonight, do you have my back? So can they coexist? So we're seeing it here in AEW. The hashtag can they coexist? So I actually like that, and since we're on the live talking about it, you know, I like how they're bringing that continuity. You know, they're not just now they're in AEW, they're not forgetting what they had in NXT. Like they haven't forgotten. I kind of like that continuity. I know like a lot of people don't like when mainly particularly AEW references WWE because AEW does it a lot, and trust me, they do, and they did it tonight. But you know, I like stuff like this, the continuity. I like it, so I like it. I like it. Did you hear MJF says he wants Warlow to give him the TNT Championship? If he wins it, I think Warlow will trade MJF and keep it. Ooh. I was thinking MJF wins the world title and then Warlow beats him, but that could be something. I don't know. AEW does some things that are really interesting. So we're gonna have to see how that plays out. Anyways, but I like your KC Nation, dog. I really do. Okay, so speaking of WWE talent, Adam Lambert, or Dan Lambert, excuse me, was in the ring tonight, and he was with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. He basically calls Brandy Rose the. I'm not gonna say it because it's really disrespectful. I'm not gonna say it as the good person that I am, as the baby face that I am. I'm not gonna say it, but Brandy comes out. Well, he mocks Cody's neck tattoo, which was still a terrible tattoo to this day. You know, he calls the AEW fans, they might be idiots, but they don't even like the crap sandwich that he is shoving down their throat. Now, this is where Brandy Rhodes comes out, who cuts a really good promo, by the way. It was pretty good, I thought. She calls Dan Lambert a basically a less wannabe Paul Heyman, a less talented version of Paul Heyman to be in fact. And of course, you got Dan Lambert like, well, I mean, I prefer Jim Cornette. So we got Bing Bong Nicks. Yo, what's up, Nick? What's up, Bing Bong Nicks, man? How you doing, man? Appreciate you, man, for stepping into the line, my dude. C Nation Dog, AW had a lot of matches and with interference from someone. Oh yeah, yeah. AW does that a lot. They do a lot of run-ins. That's been one of the little nitpicks that I personally have with AW. Like, especially with a lot of these debuts happenings, it's like, dude, like with all these run-ins happening, is a debut happening? Is a return happening? Like, what's going on? Speaking of a debut, tonight we had Jay Cargill, Thunder Rosa. Oh, and by the way, that whole Lambert segment was to set up Cody Rhodes versus Ethan Page for Rampage on New Year's Eve. But we had Jay Cargill, we had Thunder Rosa. This was the TBS title tournament semifinal. This is a pretty good match, man. I thought for the most part, you know, Jay Cargill did a really good job with selling the knee injury, which will really get her a lot of continuity heading into her match with obviously the other girl. We all know who she is. um, Destination. Sorry, it's a good theme song. It's a good theme song. Ruby Soho. It's a good theme song. My goodness. But now, and all jokes aside, um, yeah, that heavily knee is gonna play into her match with Ruby next week when they move to TBS. But how does Thunder Rosa loses? Well, someone attacks her, and Jay Cargill gets the win, and we're all like, "Well, who is this mystery girl?" And it's Mercedes Martinez, which I recall, and someone could correct me here. Wasn't Mercedes Martinez? I'm pretty sure she was in Impact like not too long ago. Like I'm pretty sure she was in Impact Wrestling not too long ago. I don't like I'm pretty sure she was. I think she even had a match with Mickey, and I actually covered that. I forgot what Impact pay-per-view it was, but I'm pretty sure she fought. Man, I forgot. I think it was Sacrifice. I don't know, but someone could correct me or something. C Nation dog. AEW fans get mad when WWE has interference in their matches, but when AEW do it, they not say that. Well, dude, I mean, a lot of the AEW diehards, and not every AEW diehard does this, but most of them, they'll praise AEW like it's the greatest thing to ever happen to wrestling. And it's just like, okay, but I mean, really, dude, like AEW is good, but they're far from perfect. I said this little joke too, like unless God is the booker, unless Jesus, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, is the booker of a wrestling company, if Jesus Christ came down from earth and decided, you know what, I'm going to form my own wrestling company, it would be perfect, 110% perfect. I promise you. If God was the booker, then the wrestling company would be perfect. But as far as I'm concerned, no one on this planet is far from God or Christ. So no wrestling company is perfect. So absolutely, C Nation. I agree with you there. I think Jay Cargill should have beat Thunder Rosa clean because it kind of makes Jay Cargill weak. She couldn't beat Thunder Rosa clean. Well, I think too because I said this. I feel like because with Thunder Rosa, I think Thunder Rosa is someone who could not just potentially be thrown, but fight Britt Baker for the title, unless they decide that we're just gonna do Britt and Jamie Hayter. But I think that was the way so they could, I guess, protect Thunder Rosa if they're starting to build momentum for her taking on Britt. I don't know. We're gonna have to see what happens, but maybe. And if that's not the case, well then, yeah, Jay Cargill should have beaten Thunder Rosa clean. So yeah, but yeah, man, Mercedes Martinez makes her debut. I'm about to say return her debut. So yeah, yeah, Mercedes Martinez challenged Mickey James for the Impact Knockouts Champion at Turning Point. Thank you, because I did a review on that. Because Deonna Purrazzo attacked her after the match, Mickey, and was like, "I'll face you at Hard to Kill." So, yeah, Mercedes Martinez. Thank you, C Nation Dogs. I was like, "Are you? Was she at Impact?" So I guess I didn't last long. CM Punk comes out. This is CM Punk's return. Gee, well, I keep saying return. Excuse me, guys. This was CM Punk's first appearance in Daly's Place, and he talks about it's good to see good old JR back. He talks about the Bro to Lee Memorial Show, which is actually a year from tomorrow, and he talks about how this was the show, this was the night that made me want to come here, not just to come back to wrestling, but eventually wanted me to come to AEW. So CM Punk talks about MJF. He talks about he's a Twitter troll, how he hides behind Dax and Cash. CM Punk claims that he wants to be champ. So does MJF. Well, Mr. MJF, who is a bigger waste of con money than Tim Tebow, I guess you will find out the hard way that when it comes to CM Punk, when I'm on this mic, in this ring, even on commentary, which was a nice playback to the pipe bomb, nobody can touch me. And MJF, you may not realize it now, but trust me, boy, you will. Because it's going to be a real shame if somebody mess with MJF's quest for gold, which will indeed be CM Punk. So, yeah, great promo from CM Punk. If Rosa is challenging Baker for the AEW Women's Championship really soon, I understand why she got protected. But if she is challenging her next year at All Out, then I not know why. I don't think it's gonna be at All Out. I think it's gonna be at Revolution. You know, not every AEW title reign needs to last nearly a year. Um, Britt, I think her losing the title at Revolution would be a good title reign for her, and I think her losing it to someone like Thunder Rosa would be really good. So yeah, I'm gonna say not All Out. I'm gonna say Revolution. That's like because I don't see Britt holding the title all the way up till next September. I just don't. Brian Pillman comes out and he talks about the House of Black. He talks about Malachi Black, and he's basically like, dude, I'll fight you next week, which is revealed that we'll fight each other. So Malachi came out, just stood on the apron, and then he left. But of course, commentary was like, ooh, he's playing mind games. Mind games. So I can just stand on the apron while my opponent is in the ring and I walk back. That's mind games. I was thinking something like Julia Hart was gonna be in the ring and attack him or something. I don't know. All jokes, y'all. All jokes. Well, then again, maybe I'm not joking. Anyways, wrestlers do not get enough credit. They put their body on the line 24/7 for us and have to cut a lot of promos too. Absolutely, dude. People, what, like, and this is like especially for non wrestling fans. They say this same ideal. Wrestling is fake. Oh, why should I care about a show that is scripted entertainment that is fake? They're just fake fighting. People don't understand the grind that these wrestlers put in and day out. You know what I mean? Like I remember Bad Bunny, he was talking about his WrestleMania match and how when he got in that ring, he was like, dude, like being a wrestler is hard. You know what I mean? And I just wish like I know wrestling ain't mainstream like it was back in the Attitude Era, but I wish that people could just appreciate and respect wrestling a little bit better because these wrestlers truly go out there and put their bodies on the line 24/7. A lot of wrestlers, there have been many wrestlers that have died or even gotten paralyzed just for doing what they love. So the fact that a lot of wrestlers don't get enough credit it's crazy, So and the promos too, great promos. I agree with you. I do not want every title reign to be a year long because it gets boring if we do not get a new champ till a year later. Yeah, after a while it gets stale. I mean, look at Roman's title reign. They're already saying his title reign's getting stale. Some people are saying his title reign's kind of like Triple H's reign of terror when he was world champ. Wrestling is not fake, but even if it was, why do people complain movies are fake and people watch movies? LOL. I don't know. Like exactly. Like you're gonna sit up here and say, "Oh, wait, wrestling is fake." Oh, well, you were just watching your favorite movie. What's your favorite movie? Oh, my favorite movie is The Karate Kid. Oh, well, that's fake. It's I don't know. I don't know, dude. I got no clue, man. I got no clue. All right, y'all. We got the main event, six-man tag team match player. We got Adam Cole. We got Bobby Fish. We got Kyle O'Reilly. You might as well just call him the Undisputed Era, Undisputed Elite, whatever. Taking on Orange Cassidy and Best Friends. We see how near the end the Young Bucks come out. They hit the super kicks. And then inside the ring, Chasing the Dragon is nailed for the win. And of course, man, we see Adam Cole leaving with the Young Bucks. So that's how the final show of Dynamite ends. And that was AEW tonight. Overall, I thought this was a pretty good show, to say the least. Pretty good way to cap off what was a great year. This was a great year for AEW. Like 2021 was a great year for AEW. So, yeah, I'm actually searching WWE DVDs now. Big on wrestling, yes. I gotta say, man, that's a nice profile picture. But no, all jokes aside, yeah, man. They need to start doing more wrestling DVDs too. We don't have them at my market where I'm at. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at this, but I think Roman Reigns is getting boring. He's almost held the top 500 days. I really hope his title reign ends at WrestleMania. Hey man, the good thing about wrestling is that there's other people who have different opinions, and hey, there's nothing wrong with saying Roman Reigns title reign is getting stale or boring. Me personally, Roman is good. I think him and losing at Mania would be okay. I mean, because they're not doing Rock and Roman. At least I don't think. They had that plan. They could have if they were doing Rock and Roman, they were going to say that for Survivor Series. I think the best ideal thing they could do just have Roman Drew and Drew being Roman, because outside of Drew, there's really nobody else unless they're going to bring Braun Baker up, you know, or something. I don't know, but then they got to build him up. So I don't know. Anyways, guys, that has been my AEW Dynamite review. Remember to subscribe to the channel. On the road to 500 subs tomorrow. Top 10 AEW matches of the year. I hear Raw and SmackDown's trash nowadays. SmackDown's decent. Raw, there are a few times Raw's actually decent. SmackDown, yeah. They can do Roman Reigns and Rock without the title, too. Their feud does not need to be for the Universal title. Yeah, not every big match has to involve championship. That's right. Rock and Roman will sell itself. John Cena and Rock did not need a WWE title match. That match sold itself. Undertaker Triple H sold itself. Rock and Hogan sold itself. You do not need a WWE championship match or a title match in general. If you have two big fighters, it's that itself is gonna be a big time feel. I'm glad you brought that up, C Nation Dog, because there are some people who are like, "Oh, I don't believe that," but it is what it is. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you enjoyed this review. Oh, every wrestling fan always thinks big fights need a title, but that's not true. Absolutely, it's not true. Not true at all. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap up here, man. Thank you guys for watching the video, man. To the future ones, thank you. Subscribe to the channel, like more content. Again, tomorrow, top 10 AEW matches will be coming out. This has been the Kid DC Wrestling, and so yeah.